Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is another weight loss video update, and I actually wanted to talk about something very personal that I've been dealing with pretty much my entire life. So if you looked at the title of this video, being over-sexualized because you are curvy. Where do I start? So there's a few key points that I really wanted to talk about. Things that I'm dealing with. Currently, I am sitting at about 247 pounds. I'll wear a size 18 jean, size large shirt. Dress size is probably a 14. Yeah, my dress size is a 14. Shoe size, my shoe size ranges just because I have wide feet. But before I get into the whole being overly sexualized for being curvy, I wanted to get into the question of, do I have excess skin? Do I have excessive skin? Do I have saggy skin? And I'm just wanting to address this because I haven't addressed it. Or do I waist train? That's another one, big one. I don't have excess skin. I don't have saggy skin. I don't have loose skin. That's just one issue I haven't really had to deal with. I feel like me not working out or me not lifting weights, I probably would be experiencing it at this point now that I've lost 100 pounds. But because I have been lifting weights, I feel like it comes from lifting weights, not running on the treadmill, but lifting weights is where it's coming from. My body is just toning up real nice, and it has to come from lifting weights because that's the only thing I've been doing different. So one thing though that I am experiencing, these are the two things that I'm experiencing: cellulite. Okay, cellulite, and it bothers me. Or those my mom calls them craters. You know, I have them like on the side of my thighs, like in the hip area. And, you know, I had craters when I was smaller, but it was not this bad. But running and lifting, I feel like it's going to help that. I also have stretch marks, which I have them kind of like where I had love handles back here. And then also my hips and my hip area. My stretch marks, they're starting to not fade, but because my skin is stretching out, or I guess since my skin is not stretching out, since it's going back, the stretch marks are becoming less visible. So you don't see them as bad as it was before. Also, one thing that I was experiencing was when I was bigger, on the back of my legs, it was dark. I'm lighter complected, so I had like this dark area right underneath my butt, and it was just dark for whatever reason. I have no idea. And now it's just light, like it's just starting to smooth out, starting to lighten up a lot. But now I can see the actual cellulite, which is really bothering me. So I've been doing self-resistance exercises. I do want to look for like a cream that I can use, or some type of something that can help me with. I understand, because I am curvy, because I have a big butt, because I have hips, because I have thighs, I'm not going to be able to get rid of cellulite 100%. But I do believe I can like reduce it, you know? So I've been researching online like what type of creams or lotions, you know. I've been sugaring, you know, sugar scrubs and things like that. But I feel like I need like a moisturizer or a cream or something that can help with reducing the cellulite. But I feel like if I can, as I continue to lose and continue to lift weights, continue to run, continue to tone up, it's all going to reduce in itself. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of being patient. Also regarding waist training, no, I do not waist train. My body is 100% natural when it comes to my shape. I've never waist trained. I've never done anything to alter my body to get the shape that I have. It's all 100% natural. And to be honest, I'm not even focusing on losing weight in my stomach area, because that's not a problem area for me. My problem area is my thighs, my inner thighs, my hips, my calves, like my lower part of my body is my trouble area. That's where I focus most of my energy when I go to the gym. You know, I'm riding a stationary bicycle, running, jogging, walking on incline, I'm doing intervals, and I'm lifting weights. I'm squatting, squatting with weights, squatting without weights. I'm doing as much as I can with my lower body. A lot of you may know that I did have knee surgery, and so I have arthritis in both of my knees. So I have to be very, very extremely careful as to what type of exercises I can do, because I have had, you know, more than a few knee injuries, plus I have arthritis. I have to be very careful as to what type of workouts I do. So I tend to stay on, you know, the treadmill. I like running on the treadmill, then I like to run on like outside on concrete and things like that, because it's very hard on your knees, versus running on a treadmill. It's lighter, and you know, when your feet are hitting the treadmill, it's not as hard of an impact as if you were outside running on concrete. So that's why I prefer to run indoors on a treadmill versus outdoors on concrete. And then also that's why I prefer not to run stairs and things like that. I prefer to do Stairmasters and things like that. So I'm just trying to, you know, convert myself over to using certain, you know, equipment in the gym that is just as effective as if I was outside running bleachers, or if I was outside running around the track. So that's one thing that I've been doing. Eating habits, literally me stop snacking is really what's helping me move along with my weight loss. I do have like a cheat meal. I no longer do cheat days. I have cheat meals. Pretty much it regarding like just weight in general. But let me move on to other things that I've been dealing with since I've lost, you know, 100 pounds plus. I'm now sitting around like 111 to 112 pounds lost so far. And a few things that I've been dealing with: being over-sexualized. And what I mean by being over-sexualized, you know, now that I'm starting to get attention from men, it's hard dealing with the fact that they only view me sexually. Like, I understand, you know, when you meet a woman for the first time, of course you're going to be attracted to that person, you know, but, you know, I don't know if it's because of my childhood. You know, I can remember when I was 11 years old, because I was so hippie, curvy, hips, you know, boobs, Coca-Cola bottle shape, all of that. I was always over-sexualized. And it's hard dealing with. And when I gained that weight, when I gained weight rapidly between, I would say, starting my senior year was when I started picking up weight really, really fast. Senior year, and then all the way up until through 2013, so I would say from 2010 to 2013, I gained a lot of weight. I really didn't have to deal with, you know, being over-sexualized. You know, no one bothered me, no one noticed me, and that part of my life I kind of missed. And the reason why is because, you know, being over-sexualized, you know, when a man sees you and he only sees you sexually, and he doesn't care, you know, he doesn't care about your personality, what you think, you know, your opinions, you know, if you guys have common interests or anything like that. Like, they don't, you know, when a man doesn't care to get to know you, it will bother you. I know, you know, you look on Instagram or you look on social media in general, and you just see like, oh, this girl, she has big boobs, and, you know, she has a big butt, and she has this and she has that. I know, you know, she get men, you know, and it, you know, for me, it's not like that. I don't like that, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, part of me was hoping that losing weight, you know, I would lose some of my curves so I wouldn't have to deal with this type of stuff. But when you are literally born this way, there's no way you can change it. And, you know, that's why with this whole weight loss and self-love journey, it's important to love who you are. Love the fact that you're curvy. Love the fact that you have big boobs. Love the fact that you have thick thighs. You know, and I'm just now at the age of 23 starting to be comfortable with my body, because I've always been awkward with my body. You know, I've never gotten accustomed to my body. I've always had this womanly body since the age of 11, you know, and it you know, and in a lot of ways I hated it, you know, because I was always being over-sexualized all the time. And you know, I hated it because, you know, I was bigger, I was more curvier than the other girls, you know. And you know, growing up was really hard. It was not easy because I went to a predominantly white school. You didn't see too many girls with thick thighs. You didn't see too many girls with wide hips, you know, and you didn't see that many girls going through the same struggles that you went through with, you know, riding the school bus and your hips don't fit through the aisle, or you know, not being able to wear certain clothing because, you know, even though it's in your age group, it's just something that did not fit you. It didn't fit your curves, you know. And it just sucks to still continue to have to deal with this you know, and it's just getting worse, you know. It was like when I gained all that weight, it's like I had a break. Finally I had a break, you know. And you know, I was invisible, and I kind of want to go back to that just to be left alone. I mean, I can go to a grocery store, I can go to get my oil changed at the dealership. I can go to the bank. It never fails. I will always have a man come up to me, or you know, I'll have a man with his wife look at me and stare at me and lick his lips. You know, there are things that I've dealt with that I've never really told anyone, because it's like, it's devastating, it's disappointing. And the reason why I've never dated, the reason why I've never been in a relationship is because every single time, it never fails, you know, I get close to someone and it's sex. It's sex, it's sex, it's sex, it's sex, it's sexual, it's sexual, it's sexual. It's never, I want to get to know you, you know, I want to get to know who you are, the real you, the Kiana, not the girl on the outside, not the girl with the wide hips, not the girl with the thick thighs, the girl on the inside. And I feel like a lot of you girls feel like you need to have, you know, the big butt, the big thighs, the big boobs and all that, but you really don't understand how, you know, that can define you. You know, people judge me for being, you know, loose or being out there, and I'm nowhere near that type of girl. So, but because I'm shaped a certain way, I get judged for that, you know. And I thought that, like I said, part of me felt like, you know, after having weight loss surgery, I would not have to deal with this, but I'm telling you, it's like worse. Because when I was younger, you know, it was like little boys, you know, oh, she got a big butt, you know, but now it's like grown ass men, you know, who are married, who have fiancés, who have, you know, 3 baby mamas, and it's like, I don't deserve that type of, you know, I don't deserve that type of level of attention, you know. I have my stuff together, you know, I deserve more than that. And it sucks, you know. It's disappointing that I cannot meet anyone that wants to actually get to know me as a person, than it to always just be sexual. And you know, because that's typically how men are with me, I don't allow people to get to know me. You know, people to this day are like, I didn't even know you were so funny. It's because I didn't show that side of myself, because I was always so hesitant, you know, I always felt like people would, you know, if I allowed someone to get to know me like that or whatever, they would try to use it against me. And, you know, now it's like, I don't care. Like, you know, I'm gonna be happy, I'm gonna be goofy, I'm gonna be loud, and I'm gonna just be outgoing, because that's who I am. Like, I can't change that. I like to have fun, I like to laugh. You know, I like to be honest, I like to be real, I like to be blunt, I like to be out there. But for the longest, I never put myself out there because I was just so hesitant. I didn't trust people, you know. People had their own intentions of me, and I didn't like that. So I just avoided it altogether. But really, that's all I really wanted to say. But you know, this is a life struggle of mine, and I'm really trying to move past it. I'm not trying to allow it to get to me, because it could take me back to where I was before, and I'm trying to move past all of that. I'm trying to move to the future, and you know, I just want to meet new people, and I just want to have fun, and I just want to laugh. I just want to laugh, and I just want to have fun. And it's kind of hard doing that when you're still dealing with things that occurred in your past, and it's something that you kind of can't just let go, because it's still happening still. So that's really all I have to say, y'all. Being over-sexualized sucks. But definitely, this is my weight loss update. This is part of my journey. This is part of my struggle. And thank you so much for watching. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.